And Stock South with you on the back deck. At the moment, looks like it's not going to rain, so I thought I'd come outside and do a video. From what I understand, we're supposed to get buckets of rain pretty soon. And back in the day when I was a kid, in the late 50s, early 60s, mostly the late 50s, so I was more in high school, early 60s. The this time of year on well, we just, if we had any time off from school, we'd be the bunch of us, myself and my friends, would be out in the field next to my house. We affectionately known as Serby's field, because Mr. Serby owned the property, but he'd let us play out there as long as we didn't go running through his wife's tomato plants and the corn crop. We were okay. He pointed it out to us that there were certain parts of the field off limits. Okay. Rest of the field, he said, kids, knock yourselves out. and we did. It was a nice. I would think Serby's field was probably a good 15, somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 acres, and on the north end, it was woods that led into a swamp that was known as Crystal Lake. Crystal Lake had long since disappeared, so now it was sort of like Crystal Swamp. And then after Crystal Lake, you crossed a road and went into an area that was cow pasture. Yes, I think it was Mr. Galt's cow pasture. Yeah, he had he raised cows. Okay, milked them and all that stuff, yeah. And that would have been, so if we stood just below Mrs. Serby's tomato plant area and paced off the distance to where if you could, we had to estimate, but Mr. Galt's cow pasture would be approximately 1,200 feet away. Yeah, approximately. So for a kid, that would be, about 600 steps. And we tried it once. Yeah, we actually measured it. I know we could have got a map, but I guess Mr. DeFalco hadn't taught us about maps yet, or Mr. Bragg. I think you got that in 8th grade. Yeah. In any case, on a nice spring day, maybe a Saturday, or after school, sometimes after school, we'd get together out there in Serby's field, and we'd be watching. Now, if we stood with our back to the main street of Chester and looked to the woods, Crystal Lake, and Mr. Galt's cow farm, cow pastures, we again, it was approximately 1,200 feet, and we'd be looking north. Okay. Now, we loved flying kites. Yes, we loved flying kites. It was quite a thing for us kids back then. Again, we were 10 years old or so, give or take. A little older, maybe. And the only thing was in Chester, usually in March, April, the wind came blasting out of the north. And so your kites would have to go to the south. And that wasn't good because there was all sorts of power lines. Right. And we were forbidden basically to, I guess, I don't know, one day I think one of our kites touched a wire and, but no, we didn't get shocked. I think we just got tangled up, but, they had to come and get the kite out of there. If it rained or something, there would have been trouble. We got hollered at and told, the electric line guy pointed out to us that it might be smarter. Says, why don't you kids fly it over the field and then now maybe knock yourselves out, but don't go over the highway. You're messing up our. Okay, so okay, yes, sir. And then sometimes too, a kite might come down into the road, and a garbage truck runs over your kite, or it gets stuck in some guy's window. Then he's really sore. Yeah. You got it. Some grown up you don't even know chasing you through the field. and or worse, the grown-up knows your parents. Yeah. Okay. So generally, we wanted our kites to go north, so we'd have to wait for just the right conditions. But we were ready. Oh yeah. And I would go out in the morning and I'd test the wind, the kind of thing, and I'd say, "My God, the wind's going to the north." And cool. And I call my friends, and they next thing in 10 minutes they'd be at the house. And what we would do is we would go to Mr. Lex's candy store, and he used to sell kites and kite string. I think you get a kite for around a quarter, and you get kite string for about 10 cents a ball. And it was approximately 100 feet, 100 feet of kite string. Okay. And what we would do is, since I was in the Boy Scouts, I knew how to tie certain knots. And we would let the kite out with the 100-footer, and then two kids would hold the kite steady. I'd have enough string on that they would give me that was slack, and I'd tie a knot onto the next 100 feet, and out it would go. I'd say, "Okay, it's secure," and they'd check it. "Yeah, that's good." Double bow lines, and out they'd go, and we'd go out another 100 feet. I think one time, one of us let go of the string, and luckily the kite plummeted to earth. Yeah, what holds a kite up is the air blowing on it and the string holding it back. That gets the kite to go up, stay aloft. You let go of that string, down it goes. Okay. Or if the wind stops. Okay. And so anyway, we were doing this. Gosh, we were busy for like an hour, letting it out, tying another, carefully letting it out. If you let it out too fast, well, the doggone kite will plummet. And by then, we're over the sticker bush patch at the bottom end, at the north end of Serby's field, and we're getting into dangerous territory. The tree line again between Serby's field and Crystal Lake. So now we got to stay up about. Oh, some of those trees were about as high as the ones you see behind me. Okay, yeah, they were high trees. We had to really be careful, and so you go and you'd only put a little bit of a tail on your kite because you were going for distance, and that string after a while weighs things down. And we'd tie up another. Now we're out 500 feet, 600 feet, 700 feet. Oh, man, we're going nuts. We even had a friend who lived in the development that was near Mr. Galt's field. He's reporting, he says, "No, it's not quite. It's over Crystal Lake." He says, "Best I can tell, I'm still looking south at your kite. You're looking north at it." Yeah, he says, "You still got about another 300 feet. Oh, man. We sent a kid down. We put all our pennies together. He went down, got another ball of string, and I think that was my kid brother Ed. And we had it out to about 1,400 feet. Yeah. And the kite string just made one of those nice arches up. Yeah, it looked like something on what do you call it? Like the George Washington Bridge. Right. A suspension bridge. It was like the cables on a suspension bridge. It actually curved and up. And man, we're out there so far, and then I don't know. We're having we're pulling on the string, about six or 7 feet, maybe more, 20 feet, and you let the string go. The wind and the kite plummets, but then it comes back up when the wind catches it. Yeah. Oh, we were having the best time, and then all of a sudden, the wind stopped. Nothing. There's no wind. And our kites, oh my God, we started running. Oh my, we're running with and pulling the string in, trying to keep the kite up. If you kept pulling hard enough, well, the kite might just stay aloft enough to get over. Oh my gosh, we're thinking, what if it lands in the cow pasture? We'll never get there in time. The cows will step all over it, or worse. You know what cows do? Yeah, no, our kite will never fly after that. We're pulling. Oh my gosh, we had something like $1.50 worth of kite string. Not to mention the kite. They're yanking and pulling and running. Where 2 or 3 kids they're getting cramps from running. They ate too much candy from Mr. Lex's store, penny candy. he was having a deal, two for a penny. How can you resist? Yanking and pulling. And finally, where we could tell by all the string we pulled in, we figured we'd untangle it later. But we figured we at least were over the tree line now, over Crystal. We just had to get over the tree line. That's it. And we're yanking and pulling, but those trees are high. Again, they're like this out there. Yanking and pulling, birds are flying around, and oh my heavens, we're scaring them out of their nest. Now they're mad at the kite. And the kite was just getting pummeled. Not to mention, the wind just was gone. It was just us. We are yanking and pulling. One of us would pull while the other one would run back, while another one ran to go with the kite string in hand, trying to get another 50 feet down. And then another kid would run the 50 feet down while the other one ran, pulled on the kite string back 50 feet. We just almost got it over the tree line. And then it hit an old oak tree. I think that kite's still up there. Yeah. Yeah, the line, we had to cut the line. It was, nothing we could do. We eventually, I think hunks of the kite did come down, and we gave it a decent burial. I think, though, the balsa wood's still up there somewhere. But that was a typical day. Oh yeah, we spent at least all day doing that. Oh yeah, Mom had to bring out peanut butter and jellies and a couple of salami sandwiches for us. Oh, it was a tough day in the kite field, but I gotta say it was kind of fun. Oh, and the kite string, it was so tangled up from us running, no one thought to maybe wind it on the stick. Yeah. So yeah, we had all the chores we had to do to get that $1 or two up. To go do another kite. By then it was baseball season, so we're out there knocking the ball around out in Serby's field. Oh my heavens. Yep. Well, it's how it goes. In the 50s it was kind of fun being a kid. Yeah. You didn't worry about homework. You could always do that on the way to school. And there were no computers. Yeah, we had to think of something to do to entertain ourselves. Doggone, if flying a kite wasn't. Frankly, when someone said, hey, go fly a kite, to us, that sounded like a pretty good idea. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you later. God bless, friends. Bye now.